We'll open for questions. Wheat, do you want to start, please?
Yeah, Nate, one of those guys who definitely cares, I know, is Malcolm, and he had another huge night for you tonight, another career high for him. It seems like his confidence has risen to even another level. What have you seen from him during this recent stretch?
Yeah, he's been steady. He doesn't force the issue. He's doing a good job of leading on both ends. I say this a lot. Him and Victor know where the ball needs to go. They know who needs it. They're making extremely difficult plays on the defensive end that are leading to buckets. With Malcolm too, I thought he had some very strong finishes and some strong takes to the rim. Domas and Miles were setting good screens. The spacing was good there. So it's a credit to Malcolm, to reference your question, but also to his teammates creating the space and setting the screens and going from there.
Pat?
Nate, even going back to Monday night's game, I don't think you guys allowed a point in the final 2 minutes of either. What has stood out to you about your defensive effort down the stretch?
Just what you said, the effort level, the activity level. There's no quit in this team. They don't want to take possessions off at any time. I thought Miles Turner came in there and was big in blocks and had some nice deflections as a rim protector. Him and Domas with some nice verticals at the rim down the stretch. We got into the ball and guarded the ball a little bit better there, late in that game. But it's, again, a tough opponent and tough to guard them, and our guys dug in the best that they could.
Greg Doyle.
I think he's on mute.
Greg.
No, I'm good. Sorry,
Yep.
I wasn't ready for that one. So Miles had 8 blocks tonight. Harden scored whatever he scored. It wasn't much. I know it wasn't just Miles at the rim, but how much does Miles at the rim having the game he had just keep Harden away from even trying?
Well, yeah, with Miles down there, and the pressure that we're putting on the guards up front, it's just good at making sure all the opponents just see him there, just seeing him at the rim when he's got his knees bent and his hands out. He's a force in there. And then on the drives, it's going to be a difficult shot for our opponents when they do attack that paint, because we got our guards, are pursuing them, and our bigs are there to protect the rim. But I just liked his active hands tonight. I just thought he was active in general. Thought he was up and aggressive when he needed to be, and protecting the rim when he needed to be.
J. Michael.
Speaking of Miles, but it looks like more so than at the rim, when he was playing at the top in the high post defensively, those passes that they were trying to make to the wing or reverse it, that there were a lot of possessions in that last 2 minutes that were disrupted, not by shot blocks, but by you putting your length up high. Can you kind of speak to your philosophy on why you did that, in your emphasis on putting some of your longer guys like Miles up in those spots to disrupt that offense?
Yeah. And the man, the man that he was guarding was playing on the elbow up there in some of those late game plays, and just by getting his hands out, if he doesn't deflect the pass, it misdirects the pass a little bit. But that's what I was talking about before, is he was up and aggressive, just like you said. That's a good eye for that. And that's the man he was guarding. And I like it. I like the Miles Turner in aggressive mode like that.
Scott Agnes.
Nate, there was so much to like, whether it's Justin Holiday off the bench or Domas' double-double. You can go on and on. What was your big takeaway from tonight's game?
Just the team effort again. The team effort and staying steady and keeping composed when they needed to. This team want to win, and it gets a little fiery and competitive out there. Always competitive, always fiery, I should say. But when they needed stops, they locked in and they got them. We were kind of trading baskets there for a while, not just in the fourth, but during the course of the game, and it was good to get string a few consecutive stops together down the stretch.
Seth Johnson.
Nate, Scott just spoke to Justin Holiday's effort today. Can you kind of speak to, he had another great game. Can you kind of speak to what he's brought off the bench so far for you guys this season?
Justin always comes ready to play. And I just like his speed out there. He's running to the corners. He's setting good screens. He knows how to play multiple positions. Like Justin knows where to go on every single play call, and he knows what all 5 guys on the floor need to do. We ask a lot of them too on the defensive end. You know, we had a few different guys guarding Harden and Wall and Tucker and Gordon. I mean, I can go on and on again on that team, but he does. He starts with his defensive effort and activity, but I just like the pace and his length and the speed at which he plays.
Christos Salkas.
Hello, coach. Congratulations on the win. I would have 2-part questions for you. The first one is, what was the key about the aggressive defense on James Harden tonight? And also about you, did you expect when the season starts that your team will have a record like 6-2 in the 8 first games of the season?
Yeah, we wanted to be aggressive. You know, with Harden there early, we wanted to put different guys on him and make him see double teams in different ways and have active hands. You know, he's a great player. So we just wanted to be up and aggressive there, deny it back to him sometimes as well. And then to the second part of your question, you know, this team they play hard and they stick together. This team is a group that really fights hard for each other. They share the ball and they want to make plays for each other.
Any follow-up questions for Coach? Okay, Nate, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, raise your hands with questions for Malcolm. We'll start with Wheat.
And Malcolm, the defense really locked down there. I think you held them without a point the final 2:37 tonight. What was the key down the stretch?
Really containing John Wall and Harden. They're both explosive scorers. So it was important to, try to keep your hands up when John Wall was driving the ball. And with Harden, man, try to pull your hands back and contest shots and try to make it uncomfortable for him.
Pat?
Malcolm, the way your defense is set up with Miles as that last line of defense, does it help you be more aggressive on Harden? And did you feel like that's why you were at least able to hold him in check a little bit for most of tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Harden's not a one-man job. Harden was not me out there. Harden is a group effort. I can't press up on him. I can't limit how many threes he takes and makes if I don't have a defense that I trust behind me and Miles blocking shots. So Miles had, I think, eight blocks tonight. That was huge.
Greg Doyle.
Hey, Malcolm, little game about the question about the pregame stuff. Not the pregame stuff, the Washington, D.C. stuff. I don't know what to say other than it crushed me. What did it do to you? How'd you play this game? And just what do you think?
Yeah, that stuff is bigger than basketball. I heard someone had a question for Coach before we played, and they asked, "Are we playing tonight?" And I think at the end of the day, we have a job to do. But I also think we have a platform, and I think that's what we proved in the bubble, that we can continue to play basketball, but we can continue to highlight what needs to be highlighted. And for me, my thoughts on the situation are simple. I think if these were Black people that were storming the Capitol, they would end up with as the largest massacre in U.S. history. We see Black people being shot on the streets. We just saw the cops get off of a murder of an innocent Black man. Those people would be gunned down if they were Black. So I think things have to change in this country. It's another situation where, it's a classic case of white privilege. I think that's what it is. And we have to be honest in this country. I think people have to call a spade, and that's what this is. It's disgusting.
Seth Johnson.
Hey Malcolm, I'm curious. You guys have been in a lot of close games as of late. I'm kind of curious just to hear what Coach Bjorkgren brings in those close games, and kind of what you've liked about his coaching style during those close games.
He's calm. He's collected. He's so smart. His judgment never gets clouded. He doesn't make bad calls. He always has a beat on how we're feeling, on how the game is flowing, what calls and adjustments the other team is about to make. He's anticipating everything. So he just has a great beat on the game and knows what's coming.
Scott.
Yeah, Malcolm, what have you seen from Miles just in his level of influence on that defensive end, both when he's underneath the basket and now as you guys are pressuring up even more so under?
He's been terrific. He's the best shot blocking big in the league. It's really that simple. You can go to the stats, you can watch the game, however you want to dissect it, analytics. He's the best at shot blocking in the NBA. So he's proven that night in, night out, and he needs to be on that, all defensive team this year.
Christos.
Hello, Malcolm. Against the Pelicans, you have a winning shot. Tonight, you have a career high game. How do you handle this situation, and what was the key about these two performances about you?
Just taking my shots, being aggressive where I need to be aggressive. My team trusts me with the ball. My coaches trust me with the ball. Practice, putting out there what I work on in the gym. This is all about hard work. These shots were already made this summer. These shots were already made preseason. People are just seeing sort of the finished project. My confidence has already been built for this season. I've worked hard. I've had great trainers. I've had a coach that's prepared me before the season, shown me what shots I'm going to get. Then I have great teammates that are screening for me, that are getting me open, and that are making shots so that when I pass it to them, they make shots and the defense, lays back off of me. So it's definitely a collective effort to get me a career high like tonight.
And the quick follow-up is about the Kenosha situation, the Capital situation. How difficult for you is to lock in on basketball?
It's difficult. It's difficult. I have a sort of a background and where I care deeply, deeply, far more about my people and what's going on in this country than basketball. But at the same time, I have to make a living, and at the same time, I have a job to do. I've signed a contract here, so it's definitely sort of a double-edged sword. But I know what the priority for today, for the last 2 hours, had to be focus in and lock in. But when I'm in front of you guys and when I get this platform that I'm talking on right now, it's to talk about the atrocities that are going on for Black people in this country, and the systematic racism that continues to target and tear down minority cultures.
We'll do one more. Scott.
Malcolm, not only are you playing well, but you're playing 40 plus minutes a night over these last 3. In this shortened season, basically playing every other night, is realistically, do you feel like that's sustainable for you or really anyone?
Do I feel like that's the what?
Whether that's sustainable, or do you need to add more people to the rotation to really make it for the long haul?
No, honestly, I think it's a season of ebbs and flows. And I think for right now, this is what coach is asking me to do. This is what I feel good doing this. But of course, coach is smart. He's had really good players that have played, high minutes, and he's learned how to adjust them, adjust their minutes and make adjustments through a season. So as the season ebbs and flows, I'm sure, the load will go down, then it will go up, and, we'll just have to respond to, how my body's feeling every day.
Malcolm, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, start us off, please.
Yeah, Vic, another night where you had big nights from several guys offensively. With all the weapons that this team has, how dangerous can this team be?
I said it before. We could be very special. We could be a very good team. So we just got to continue to keep getting better. Continue to keep making big plays, having each other's back. A bunch of big plays down the stretch tonight. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to build on it.
Pat?
Victor, back-to-back games now where you're in the final couple minutes, you don't allow any points. It allows you to ultimately get a win. Did you notice any similar characteristics between tonight and Monday?
Yeah, I mean, we got stops. That's the big thing. And, at the end of the day, we just got to keep doing that. We realizing that our defense is what creates our offense and what makes things, better for us. So we continue to do that, man. The sky's the limit for us. So we just got to keep getting stops and keep trusting each other. I think that's the biggest thing, especially defensively. Once we do that, we'll be fine.
Daryl?
Hey, what's going on, Vic? It seemed like this year the team is closing out games that last year that may not have closed out. Is there any difference as far as execution, or is it just more comfortable with the year end, everybody playing together?
Yeah, I think that's it. And what's funny is we still are trying to get used to each other. You know what I'm saying? It still probably could only count on two hands how many games, I've played with Malcolm. Probably count on two hands how many games me, Malcolm, and Domas and Miles have played together. And then boom, unfortunately TJ goes down. But we're still very good. And we still got a very good team. It just shows the depth of this team. So we just got to continue to keep, like I said, getting better. And not being satisfied and taking it one game, one night at a time. Every game's going to be different, and building on it.
Brendan?
Hey, Vic. So it's back-to-back nights for Malcolm for career highs. What are you seeing out of him? Like, what is he seeing differently on the floor this year in your eyes?
I think he's just doing a great job of knowing where his spots are. He's comfortable with the offense. He's comfortable with coach. And he's executed. He knows where he's going to get his shots. He knows when to be aggressive, when to get people involved. So he's playing great for us right now. We're going to need him to do that all year. So it's huge. Tonight was huge. The other night was huge. And we just got to continue to keep building on it. We could be a very, very scary backcourt. We could be a very, very scary team in general. So just got to keep getting better.
Pat?
Victor, on a night where you shoot 6 for 20, you still have 18 points, you have 9 rebounds, the Pacers still win. Is that a bunch of evidence that you're back and feeling comfortable how you used to pre-injury?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, getting better, getting stronger. I'm healed, definitely. I'm feeling good, feeling great, playing the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Just going out there. Like I said, every game different. Last game, it was different in this game. And, in general, I mean, how many games have I played since I've been injured? Probably like, 15, 20? You know what I'm saying? So I'm still, getting back in the swing of things myself. But, it's basketball. And at the end of the day, I'm just going to stay aggressive and decisive and then keep learning every day. Never get too high, never get too low. And, eventually it'll just start being consistent and everything would just flow. But, for the most part, I'm feathery for sure. So I feel good. I'm glad we won. And, just got to keep getting better.
Scott?
First of all, that's the first time we've heard that all year. Secondly,
that
means you're in a good mood.
My bad. I'm gonna make sure I got you. I'll make sure I say that every time, man. No question.
Secondly, we know what Miles does kind of as that safety net, but do you feel like he's either taken it up another notch or really made a point to assert himself even more this season defensively?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like, now that, us guards are really taking pride in ball pressuring and getting up into guys and making it tough for guys. Miles has been huge for us. And, you saw it. I mean, down the stretch, another big block for us, and it's needed. I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. We need him, and I hope everybody understands that. And we're trying to do something special here. You know what I'm saying? And what he's doing right now is special. And I hope he understands that. I'm pretty sure he does because I tell him every day. And he just got to keep getting better. We all do, but the sky's the limit if we continue to keep doing it.
Tony. Okay, Christos.
Tony.
Hello, Victor.
Hey.
Hello, Victor. I would like to ask you, you mentioned before that this team is special. How are the points that made so special this team this season? And also for you, how enjoyable is to share the backcourt with Malcolm Brogdon?
It's really fun, sharing the backcourt with him, having a guy who can make plays just like you can. And, it's been great. We're still, like I said, we're still trying to build the chemistry. We're still trying to learn each other. And being a part of this team is a blessing. Every day I get to play this game, go out here and compete is a blessing. I just got to do it at the highest level possible every night and to the best of my ability every night. So I'm truly thankful and I appreciate, every moment that I'm out there.
Scott.
Victor, with a shortened off season, I don't think any of you are in the condition maybe you'd like to be here early in the season. You're playing 37, 38 minutes, tightened rotation, I think more so than we expected. Do you feel like that's sustainable? Are you comfortable, at least with you in particular, about the minutes you're getting?
Yeah, I mean, my body feels great. So I think that's the biggest key for me is just making sure in and out of games that my body is trending forward and I'm feeling better and better. You know what I'm saying? I can't control, what kind of nights I'm gonna have. I can make sure my approach is the same every night. I can make sure, that I have the right mindset every night. But the biggest thing for me is making sure my body is great night in and night out. And it's been great. So just got to keep, like I said, keep being stronger, keep being better. And I'll be good.
Any final questions to follow up here? All right, Vic. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, man.
Hey, Chrissy or David, can you unmute there? I think I cut you off there. Sorry. All right, Pat, do you want to start with questions, please?
Yeah, Justin, another night for you with 20 points. You're 3 of 4 from the three-point line, and you're playing starters minutes off of the bench. Can you evaluate your role, where you are, and at least the last 4 games, why it's going so well for you?
It's going well because that's just what's going on right now. I'm just playing the game like I always do. And like I always say, there's going to be times when the shot's going to drop and times when it doesn't. Right now it's dropping, but I am taking care of the things that I can't control. And as far as evaluating it goes, I mean, these games I am playing well. I mean, we know the first few games I didn't make shots, but I don't think that equals not playing well. So what I'm trying to do again, night in and night out, is just make sure I'm focusing defensively to our principles, and then just offensively moving the ball, shooting the shot when it's there, and trying to make sure our team is in a good space.
Yeah, just in another game where you guys got some stops down the stretch and were able to close out a tight game. What's been the key to you guys closing these past couple games out?
I mean, I think each game is different. Tonight, like you said, getting the stops was a very, very big deal. We actually kept the lead this time. So I think that helped, but it was very, very big from Malcolm and Victor being the first, the head of the snake on, John Wall and James towards the end. And then me, Domas and Miles in the gaps and doing a good job of being in the gaps, and Miles and Domas doing a good job over the rim of not fouling, making guys shoot tough shots. And you know, they didn't shoot the three much, I think, towards the end of the game as well. So coach's scheme. we gotta, you know, take our hats off to that as well. So I think we did a good job defensively, and everybody taking care of the individual matchup at the end, but as well as helping one another.
Greg Doyle.
Justin, what are your thoughts on what happened before the game in DC, and how were you consuming that information, A, and B, how did you then find the fortitude to do what you did in the game tonight?
To be honest with you, I actually didn't know until after the game, until Coach spoke to us about it. And when I'm at home, I'm not really on social media much. I have 2 kids, and I'm trying to make sure I give them the time they deserve and need. And then when I come to the gym, I'm in my own space of doing my own thing. So I actually didn't really hear about it until after the game. So I don't really know where my thoughts are on it completely, but at the same time, I mean, you know, things are still not in a great place in America. People feel differently about a lot of different things. And hopefully we can get to a space where we can actually speak to one another, care about listening to one another, regardless of which side you're on, and really try to get to a space where we can be in the middle ground. But yeah, that's as far as I can really go with it, because I haven't really gotten too far into it, and I guess I will when I get home and, you know, see my wife, because I'm sure she's been looking at it.
Christos.
Hello. Congratulations on the win and your performance also. I would like to ask you, against the Pelicans and tonight against the Rockets, you have two wins in 2 close games. What it means about the confidence and about the mentality of this team, and also about your role, how comfortable you feel about your role this season?
First, yeah, you know, winning 2 games, I think that does winning 2 close games towards the end and closing out games. I think it's very, very good for us for, you know, one, for our team camaraderie, feeling like guys have each other's backs, going out there and knowing what each guy's going to do. And for us to do that down the stretch, both of these games, it's something that we actually struggle with at times in the past. And I don't like to talk about the past, but, you know, there were some games like, dang, you know, how we come out and play this way and then the next game not. So I think we're getting on the right track of playing the same way each game. And it really just being a complete team for 48 minutes. And as far as my, you know, own thing, again, I'm just going out there playing my game and trying to help the team as best I can.
Pat.
Justin, when you have a new coach in a brand new system, is it more important to get off to a strong start like you guys have?
I mean, I don't care if you have a new coach or old coach. It's always important to get off to a good start. That's always what we want to do. Getting up to a good start is good because there's always ups and downs in the seasons. Now, you don't want to have a time to where you're losing a lot in a row or to where you lose, I mean, I don't even know a number, but having a good start helps you for a time to where maybe the team might be in a lull or not have that rhythm. So, yeah, I mean, I don't care who the coach is, how many years he's been there, and not having a good start is a very big deal.
Any final questions for Justin? All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
We
thank you guys.
appreciate
Have a
it.
good one.